Your favorite. What is your favorite television program and why? What is your favorite farm animal and why? What is your favorite brand of mobile phone and why? What is your favorite color and why? Who is your favorite sports celebrity and why? Learning English. How do you feel about learning English? Do you face any difficulties in learning English? How is English different from your native language? When have you started learning English? How long have you been learning English? Food that you like. Do you like homemade food or fast food? When do you need to have fast food? Nowadays, why many people dislike fast food? What is your favorite homemade dish? Do you like Chinese cuisine or Indian cuisine? Your family. How many family members do you have? Who is your favorite person in your family? Do you have a friendly relationship with your parents? Who is the main contributor to your family? Are friends more important than family members? Your friends. At this moment, how many friends do you have? Who is your best friend and why? Why friends are important than other people? What are the benefits of having a good friend? Talk about a time when you helped a friend. You're traveling. Do you like to travel with your family? Have you ever been on an airplane and when? Are you afraid of going abroad alone? What countries would you like to visit? Why? Which religious or historical sites have you visited? Daily routines. Do you wake up early in the morning and when? Do you have breakfast with your family? What time do you go home from school? How do you spend your leisure time? What time do you usually go to bed? You're shopping. Do you enjoy shopping and why? What is your favorite shopping mall and where? What kinds of things do you buy online? Do you prefer to shop alone or with friends? How much time do you usually spend on shopping? Listening to music. What kind of music do you like the most? Who is your favorite singer and why? Are you good at playing any musical instruments? Have you ever been to a rock concert? Is there any kind of music that you dislike? Free time. What do you usually do in your free time? Where do you spend your free time mostly? How do you like to spend your free time? Do you think people had more free time in the past? What are the best places to spend your free time? Scary things. What things are you afraid of and why? Are you scared of lizard and why? Are you scared of snakes and why? Are you scared of ghosts and why? Are you afraid of heights and why? Social media and websites. What are the best social networks for education? What is your favorite website for learning English? Do you use social media to build friendships? Do you spend more time online than you study? What are the advantages of social media and websites? Have you ever acted in a play before? Have you ever seen a ghost in your hometown? Have you ever eaten sushi in a Japanese restaurant? Have you ever ridden a horse in the countryside? Have you ever done an extreme sport for pleasure? Your job. What kind of job would be suitable for you? What are the common jobs in your hometown? Do you prefer to do a long-hour job? Why do many people like to have a part-time job? Do you think the job market is changing day by day? Would you like to Would you like to have a drink after work? Would you like to leave a message for her? Would you like to be super rich in the future? Would you like to have lots of children? Would you like to be famous in your locality? Bad habits. What are the common bad habits that people have? Do you know anyone who has a very annoying habit? Do you have good learning habits? Give an example. How can you easily develop a good habit? Can we teach children to develop better habits? Sports that you like. What is the national sport in your country? What sports competition do you enjoy the most? Do you like indoor games or outdoor games? Who is your favorite sports celebrity? Do you enjoy watching the Olympics going to the stadium? Your home. Do you live in a house or an apartment? Do you like to keep pet animals in your home? How many rooms are there in your house? Do you usually do homework and housework? Would you like to work at home for a long time? What makes you? What makes you so happy in your family? What makes you think that you are right? What makes you important to your friends? What makes you angry with your colleagues? What makes you slow down and feel uneasy? Animals that you like. What is your favorite pet animal and why? What is the most useful animal in your locality? Do you like small animals or big animals? What are the pros and cons of having a pet? Can you name some wild animals? Spending money. How much money do you usually spend each month? Do you like to buy expensive things occasionally? Are you saving money for the future? Why people earn more money than they need? Do you think money can buy everything? Are you good at Are you good at doing crosswords? Are you good at speaking in public? Are you good at saving money for your family? Are you good at solving complex problems? Are you good at making the right decision at work? Your school. What do you like best about your school? What was your favorite subject at school? Who was your English teacher at school? Do you think sports are important at school? Did you use the school library regularly? Fashion and clothes. What kind of fashionable clothes do you wear? Do you prefer casual clothes or formal clothes? Are you comfortable with fashionable clothes? How much money do you usually spend on clothing? Do you think fashion magazines are important to read? Motivation. How can you overcome obstacles in life? What habits can you develop to motivate yourself? What motivates you to go to work every day? Is it important to motivate young people? Do you feel sometimes demotivated? Your health. Do you always try to eat healthy food? Do you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables? What kind of exercise do you do regularly? How often do you eat fast food? What are some things that cause depression? Information and technology. What are the modern devices you use always? Do you write letters or email to your friends? What are the benefits of communication technology? Do you think robots will take the place of the human being? What are the negative aspects of modern technology? The environment. What are the common types of pollution? What happens when we cut down many trees? Do you support renewable energy? What are the negative impacts of climate change? How can you reduce pollution in your country? Your happiness. What makes you happy most of the time? Do you think money can buy happiness? Do you wake up happy every morning? What are the happiest moments in your life? Is your happiness dependent on other people? Crime in your town. Why do people become criminals? Explain it. Do you think there will be more crime in the future? Do you think gun control is a good idea? Do you think your hometown is a safe place to live? Have you ever witnessed the criminal activity? Improving yourself. What new skills would you like to develop? What new changes will you bring in your life? What should you read to expand your horizons? Which relationships do you want to build up? How can you be a better team member? Social problems. How many homeless people are there in your country? What are the main social problems in your locality? What is the suicide rate in your country? How can rich people help the poor? Have you ever experienced discrimination in your society? The unexplained. Do you believe in life after death? Do you believe in the existence of ghosts? Have you ever been to a fortune teller? Do you believe in love at first sight? Do you believe in the existence of God? On charity. Have you ever worked for a charity? Would you like to donate your wealth to charity? What are some of the good points of charity? Does your community have a welfare system? What are the key ways to help your community? A time when. Talk about a time when you create something. Talk about a time when you helped the poor. Talk about a time when you lost someone. Talk about a time when you changed your decision. Talk about a time when you achieved something. giving and taking advice? How good are you at giving advice? Do you ever take advice from other people? Have you ever gone to a counselor for advice? Do you like to follow your teacher's advice? Where do you go to get good advice? Time management. Are you good at time management? How do you prepare for the day ahead? How do you balance work and family life? Why is it important to manage your time well? How do you select which tasks to do first? Changes in life. Have you made any recent changes to your routine? What was the last major change you made in your life? Do you think everything will change in the future? Is change good or bad for a personal life? Do you see changes all around the world? About future. What do you think about future technology? Do you think the world will remain the same? How will communication develop in the future? What do you hope to do within your lifetime? How long will people live in the future? Explain. About holidays. Does your family celebrate the holidays? Is there special music associated with the holiday? Are there special foods associated with the holiday? Do you visit your relatives during the holidays? What is the cultural impact on holidays? Media and news. What is the function of newspapers in society? Do you think newspapers will disappear in the future? What is your favorite section of the newspaper? Do you think the news influences people's views? How often do you read the newspaper or a magazine? Hopes for the future. Do you have a big plan for your career? What are your plans for the next year? What would you like to gain before you're 30? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? How many children do you want to have? About love. How do you figure out when you love someone? Do you think love has more value than money? How do you show your love for other people? What do you value most in a relationship? Do you trust your boyfriend or girlfriend? Your entertainment. How often do you go to the cinema for entertainment? Do you prefer listening to music or watching movies? Have you ever been to an amusement park? What's the most popular holiday in your country? What are the names of your favorite actors and actresses? Cultures that you follow. What are some key things that define a culture? What aspect do you like about your culture? What is your opinion about Western culture? What is the cultural impact of your society? What is considered offensive in your culture? On debate. Do you agree with capital punishment in your country? Do you think cloning animals is ethical? Do you think the voting age should be lowered? Do you think laptops should be allowed in classrooms? Do you think the internet should be censored? On interview. What are your strengths and weaknesses? How do you handle a challenge? Give an example. Tell us about a time you made a big mistake. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Are you comfortable working independently? On advertisement. Do you influence by commercial advertising? What are the different types of advertising? What type of advertisements attracts your attention? Do you think celebrity endorsements are justified? What are the different ways of advertising products? Arguing on something. Do you know when people usually argue? What are the interesting parts of an argument? How do you get along argumentative people? Are you easily persuaded by arguments? How do you feel when someone disagrees with you? On art. Do you consider yourself a good artist? Do you enjoy visiting the art museum in your country? Can you name some of the famous artists in your country? Do you consider photography is a form of art? Have you ever joined any art competitions? On behavior. What are some examples of good behavior? Do you behave differently with friends than family? Do you think good behavior can improve personality? Can you control your behavior in a critical situation? How can you teach children positive behavior? Your business. Would you like to start your own business? Do you have any special knowledge about business? How can you make a business profitable? Do you think marketing is vital for a business? How do you overcome critical business problems? Your childhood. What are your important childhood memories? When did you make a friend for the first time? Who was your favorite family member? Why? Did you enjoy doing things with your friends? What were your favorite toys in your childhood? City life. What are the advantages of living in a city? What is the difference between city and country life? What are some important features of a city? What are the major challenges in your city? Do you think city life is more comfortable than rural life? Your study. Do you work or are you a student? What is your favorite subject at the university? What are the important courses at your university? How can technology be used in classrooms? Are you good at anything that nobody knows? Your hometown. What is the history of your hometown? Is that a big city or a small town? What are the important features of your hometown? What kind of facilities are available in your hometown? What are the tourist attractions in your hometown? Accommodations that you like. What kind of accommodation do you live in? Do you prefer to live in a house or an apartment? What do you usually do at your house? What part of your house do you like most? What does the exterior of your house look like? On weather. What kind of weather do you like and why? Do you do anything special during good weather? How do you feel when the weather is gloomy? Do you usually listen to the weather forecast? Does the weather impact your daily activities? On punctuality. Do you think it is important to be punctual? How do you consider when other people are late? How do you remind yourself to be on time? Why is discipline important in the workplace? Why many people cannot manage their time? On television. What are the popular TV programs in your country? How much time do you usually spend watching TV? What kind of TV shows do you usually watch? Do you think it is good for children to watch TV? Do you think that TV makes people relaxed? About museum. What are some important museums in your country? Do you think museums are useful for students? When was the last time you visited a museum? What was the primary motivation for your visit? Would you like to work for the Museums Association? About films. How often do you go to the cinema to watch films? What kinds of movies do you like the most? Do you prefer country films or foreign films? Do you like action movies or comedy movies? Are you afraid of watching horror movies and why? Leisure time. What is the importance of leisure time in life? What do you do in your leisure time? Do you have a lot of free time during the day? How do you usually pass your weekends? Who do you spend your free time with? Sports that you like. What are the popular sports in your country? Do you have a favorite sports celebrity? Do you think everyone should practice sports? How do you think about extreme sports? Which one do you prefer, baseball or volleyball? Clothes that you like. What type of clothes do you usually wear? How much money do you spend on clothing yearly? Do you think it is essential to wear fashionable clothes? What are the traditional clothes in your country? What are the benefits of buying second-hand clothes? On weekends. How do you usually spend your weekends? What are the important activities you do on weekends? When much time do you spend with your family? Do you play outdoor or indoor games on weekends? Do you visit friends and relatives at the weekends? On reading. What type of books do you usually like to read? Do you enjoy reading paperbacks or e-books? How often do you go to the library to read books? Are you interested in reading self-help books? How many books have you read in your life? Plantation. What is the significance of plantation? Do you think we should plant more trees? What are some types of trees you plant? When is the best season for planting trees? Do you know how trees help mitigate climate change? Reading newspaper. Do you have a habit of reading newspapers? How often do you read English newspapers? Which one do you like to read, magazines or newspapers? What part of the newspaper do you read first? Do you prefer local newspapers or international newspapers? On transportation. What are the common means of transportation in your country? Do you often use public transportation during rush hour? How many times have you traveled by airplane? Are you satisfied with the transportation services in your country? What are some transportation problems in your country? On photography. How often do you take photographs? Explain why. Do you prefer to take pictures of people or nature? In which events do you usually take photographs? How many photos do you have at your home? How often do you see the family's photo albums? Helping others. Do you think helping others is a great virtue? When was the last time you helped someone? What is the importance of helping the poor? Do you donate blood? Explain why or why not. What do you think about donating money to charity? About history. What is the significance of knowing history? How often do you read history books? What are some historical events in your country? Are you interested in local history or world history? Do you know the history of your ancestors? At school. Where did you go to elementary school? What teacher influenced you the most? How many friends did you make in school? Did you study any foreign languages in school? What is the role of schools in a community? Learning English. What are the benefits of learning English? How often do you practice your English lessons? Do you use the internet to learn English? which is the difficult part of English grammar. Do you speak English with your friends? Pollution problem. What are the effects of pollution on the environment? How often is garbage collected in your neighborhood? Do you think recycling is an important social service? What can you do to reduce pollution in your country? What can big cities do to improve their air quality? Facebook. How many friends do you have on Facebook? How much time do you use on Facebook? How often do you check your Facebook account? Do you follow any celebrity on Facebook? What's one thing you don't like about Facebook? Your religion. Do you believe in God and religion? What are the major religions of the world? What are the key features of your religion? Do you have a relationship with different religious groups? Do you maintain your life according to your religion? On depression. What do you mean by stress and anxiety? Do you experience stressful situations sometimes? What are some things that make you depressed? What do you do to overcome your depression? Do you have any suggestions for a depression-free life?